Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of things I like to look at and talk about on my channel here. That's titled that's titled something a little bit different. And like I said, one day I'll put meaning into that. But anyway, we're gonna walk around the garden again today. It's morning still. That's why you hear the roosters crowing. Uh, Had a couple of events over the past couple days. Yesterday was one event. Day before was another event. That's the way things go in the tropics in the gardens. Uh, in the news right now, yeah, tropical storm now turned into a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, heading up the. It was first heading up the Mexican coastline. Now it's got its eyes set on little parts of Texas, parts of Mississippi, and possibly Louisiana. And it's starting to strengthen. So we're going to really cross our fingers and give our highest hopes to the safety of all the people in those areas. Don't like anybody getting hurt, and surely don't like stuff getting destroyed by storms. They take it from somebody who lives in the tropics. Those storms, they don't play. Even when they're Category 1, Category 2, they'll pack a punch. They'll throw a lot of rain, floods, tornadoes at you, especially in that zone. We had our tropical storm over here in Florida. Yeah, we had a few real light tornadoes, I want to call them, pop up, and they'll do that. But over in that area, they get some mean tornadoes in that part. That's where all them tornado chaser uh, persons and influencers hang around that zone over there in that mid part of the country, because conditions are always far better for tornadoes over there. So, but we're gonna give our hopes of safe travels and safe for their homes and families over there. Anyway, we're gonna walk around the garden a little bit. Still morning, and we've been getting, like I said, our just about every evening or every afternoon storms blowing through here, and they don't hold back. They've been sending us plenty of water. As you can tell, it's just getting where I can't quite see some. I have a lot of garden decorations in here, but there's an old ring-necked duck statue in there. I have a lot of garden decorations in here, but right now it's plant decorations, because they've pretty much taken over. Things have gotten. I've got plants socializing with other plants and all intertwisted. Because you're looking, even right here, you're looking at the twist together. No less than 3 different plants are in here. Tropical, of course. Queen of the Night here. A small version of a peace lily right here. Not big like the one over there I got, but smaller. You can see how smaller the blooms are. And just a regular old run-of-the-mill fern. But I like ferns because they just have a pretty look about them. I like the fact that the leaves do the way they do, the color. It's just a nice look about them. But this right here is a thing I have here a long time. It has a swan on it. It was actually a recycled fountain, wall fountain. And of course, stuff like that, unless you dedicate yourself to doing fountains, they get problematic pretty quick between the pump system, the water recycling system, they clog up. Electrical, you got electrical issues with them. This thing was left abandoned at one of the rentals, so I brought it home, heavy as a devil, and I propped it up there, wired it to this fence. There's the fence line. Wired it to the fence, and at the bottom it had a little mini pond. kind of see it. It's getting hard to see stuff here. Look at this. You can see it a little bit. Right down there had the water catch for water flowing down that fountain front. And I turned that into a plant pot for one of my smaller Queen of the Nights, which I'm holding part of it right here. This is actually an old lady right here. I call her an old lady because this thing been around for a long time. We've had her a long time, and when I found it, basically threw it out, laying on its side, almost dead. I brought it home, planted it, and what's interesting about them, because they are what they are. You get them in dirt and get them water, and this is all part of that same plant. You're seeing leaves over here, come on this other side of this whole big old thing. This is out towards me. This is another bit of it way over here. Like I said, yeah, you get them going, and they'll show you what they can do. So, and they got beautiful blooms, but the strangest part, the reason they're called Queen of the Night, is the bloom. You'll see the bloom pod during the day. That bloom pod will only open at nighttime. You got to come out here if you want to see how pretty those blooms are. You got to come out here, either have a video running, come out here about 2 in the morning. That's the only way you're going to see a beautiful bloom from one of these plants. It's a little strange that there's certain plants that do that. You got plants in the world that bloom once a year. You got plants that bloom only at night. That's one of the strange ones. But it's blooms when you can see them are some of the most beautiful blooms you'll see. They're just gorgeous. That's all. I just trust me. They're gorgeous. This is I'll almost call it a shoestring cactus. You can kind of see the two pots here. Brought that home off of a tree at one of the rentals I was cleaning up the yard at. I just brought home some little pieces of it, and it's and you just stick in a little bit of dirt. I mean, it is a cactus, so you don't have to water it, but it'll take water as long as you got it in something that'll drain. But you can see how rich. It's a deep green. How pretty they are, and yeah, you notice my fingers under it because they don't have, their barbs are not like what you think of a cactus. They are a cactus, but they're not ornery cactus. Let's leave it like that. They're not ornery cactus. So, but yeah, got a snake plant growing here, which these are, I don't know if anybody knows about these things. They're supposed to be terrific plants for indoor air purification in your house. And I just like them around the garden because they're just so unique looking. I mean, look at the variegation in the leaves. They're just very, very pretty. But they are supposed to be very, very good plant to get them around tabletops and stuff in your house, because they are supposed to do things to your air that we love hearing plants can do, and that's help to make things better for people. People don't want to make things better for themselves, but these plants try to help make the world a little better for you. Anyway, getting back to them two events over the past couple days. There's Rue 1, there's Rue 2, or Rue. There's one of their girlfriends right there, but there they are. Like I said, our garden and farm, well, places you'll come across where our roosters are more like teammates. They get along. Most of the places you'll see roosters, they're fighting and carrying on with each other. Not here. Our roosters are teammates. The ones we got, you can see how close they are together. There they are. Which I find, and Rue 2's my buddy. He's the one that wherever Grandpa's at in the garden working on stuff, Rue 2's the guy who's coming around. Anyway, I'll go ahead and look at a few more plants here real quick before I get to them events, because they were events and they weren't good events. Unfortunately, they were kind of bad and sad. I hate saying them two words with anything to do with my garden or the farm. This is a little something I've set up on that table to try to get these to grow a little. Those are saplings, so I'm getting them to grow better and stuff. But yeah, sad and bad. This thing's blooming out some more, which is, I showed you this in the previous video, how pretty that is. another bloom come up from it. I think that's the one that just opened. Look how pretty that is. You see how beautiful the colors are. Look at that. And that girl's doing what it likes to do, which is just stay as pretty as can be. Look at them blooms in that thing. And boy, I will always appreciate these leaves. Look how big that leaf is to my hand. Isn't that something? But give you guys a little bit of a view of some more farm things. And I showed you that big old clay penguin. It's now another occupant of the farm garden. But anyway, and I got early blooms that were earlier in the year, and you can see they're drying up. So they're gone through their cycle, and now they'll drop off. And the plant itself keeps growing. It's just they do a little cycling, and all plants do that. They cycle, they grow, they bloom, and they do on. All right, the first event, which was just a bad event, was over here where it's one of these two chairs. As you can tell, I got it facing the garden, which is one of the best things you can have. Is you can get yourself a chair and a little table, and have where you can sit with your coffee. Okay. Well, what happened here is, here's my table, and you remember we had a baby pen here. We moved the babies. They got so big they outgrew that pen. So you remember I had the little square baby pen here. You can see in one of my earlier videos I was talking about them. But it was here. I went and cleaned all that off because we moved the babies. They're what we call adolescent pen. They go from a baby pen, which is small, to adolescent pen, which is bigger, so they got more room to grow. And then eventually they either end up in our rear open pen, which is fenced, but it's an open pen. We have a tendency to keep retirees and our older birds in there so they don't get in trouble. Or they run around just loose like these fellas. And sometimes they end up in our pigeon pen like this crew, which eventually we did bring home some more panels. Panels not unlike these big tall panels that you put them together, the ones you buy off of places like Temu and AliExpress kind of stuff. These lighter gauge, comes with a fencing. We've got 4 panels, and one of the panels is a gate, not unlike that one. We're gonna set it up. All of them, those are mostly hens. I think there's one roux in there somewhere, but most of those are hens. They were babies. See another one over there. They're all going to be in that pen so we can gather their eggs easier, and we try to have this as just a pigeon pen, because pigeons are having babies too, and they're getting more and more, so we're trying to get it where it's exclusively pigeons and get them where they're in their own keep. Anyway, I'm going to pan up here because if you remember, I used to have a pretty red umbrella. Middle of that used to have a stem, a pretty red umbrella. It was right there. Kind of shield, made a nice, well, you've seen it in some other videos. I'd stand under it and you see the rain dripping off of it. Well, it was a pretty red umbrella there. Big thing, you know, a big garden umbrella. Well, also, as I'm showing you that oak tree there, I may or may not have showed you a branch that was coming over. Well, what was there, let me get a good view of it here. That one right there now ends abruptly. Let me see if I'm going to pan in on that thing if I can. There we go. Now it ends abruptly right there. As you can tell, it's broke. Okay. I had plans on, and I just got finished telling my wife about it, that we were going to tie off a rope off of a ladder going, focus out, I'm sorry. I was going to throw a rope over that limb, because originally before that broke, that limb come out over and ended almost to that oak. It was, like I said, you can see it there. It come over, bent a little bit, ended almost to that one. And I was going to tie off to that other tree limb, tie to it, cut it with a pole saw. I do have a pole chainsaw. I was going to cut it with a pole saw, like in half first, lower it down easy, tie off the other section, cut it where it broke, lower it down easy. And to do all that, I was going to move the table, move the umbrella, move my chairs. Oh, that rascal decided, I'll do things for you. No, here's the thing, and here's what's dangerous about owning. Trees are our planet right now. People don't go, oh, I got to get rid of all my trees, because we got plenty of people around here moving in the area. They're cutting down all their oaks and stuff. You don't want to do that. We end up with no trees. We're going to have no other things that you're not going to be happy with. Anyway. But that thing, no storm, no wind. We've been having storms. We've been having wind. There was nothing going on. Just got finished talking to my wife in the house, and she sits in our living room is right behind the wall, right behind my finger where my finger's pointing. And I just stepped in my bedroom to, I don't know, do something. My wife heard a thump. Then of course these fellas running around here, they'll let you know when something goes out of sorts. And they all started raising all kinds of cane. And my wife come out, she said, she called me, she said, come on out there. I got an event. And when that fella broke, there it was again. That thing broke, it come down and flat hit that umbrella. That umbrella had a steel pole, steel assembly, steel, even the vanes are steel. Thank goodness. Because it hit it, and yeah, it broke that umbrella, but that umbrella deflected it away from our garden table, deflected it away from our chairs. It still crashed down through stuff. Stuff was all flopped around and stuff, because of course it still come down, boom, 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 limbs and things like that. And broke up some of my garden, broke a few of my ornaments up. In fact, I broke that poor thing right there, had 2 puppies in it. Now it's got there was the other puppy head. Now I've got a little tin flower on it because I had to collect up the broke puppy head. I'm going to try to fix it one day, but broke up some of my little display, clobbered a bunch of this stuff. I mean, it was all manner of chaos for a bit. Animals were not happy at all. But even though it was a bad event, none of the animals got hurt. No people got hurt. Yeah, I'm not going to kid you. One of them 2 chairs where I like to sit and have my coffee. Good thing the timing was different of me being in the house and not sitting in that chair when that thing decided to come crashing down, because may would have put a beat down on your you know, yeah, your happy-go-lucky garden chat person here may have got beat up a little bit. So, and I'm not going to kid you. You can read it in the papers all the time. People do get badly hurt and killed every year by just trees crashing down, whether during a storm, just out of the blue. I even read one man walking by one of his, trying to think what the tree is that gives out syrup, maple tree? Yeah, one of his maple trees. So them ones that get the maple syrup in them, they actually get compressed. That's why they drive those little drain pole things in them, hang buckets on them, drain that stuff. Well, they pressure up inside. I didn't know all that. I guess you gotta be a person that deals with them to know all that. Anyway, one of them things was pressured up, and he didn't realize it. He was walking by it, and it exploded and killed him. And that's something. Death by syrup. I'm telling you, you know, yeah, one of them things. Anyway, horrible, tragic. I don't want it to happen to me, and I certainly don't want some tree come down and hit me in the head. So anyway, there's another. I'll give you another view of that. There it is from another view over here. You can see there's the limb. There's where it broke off. And it went, like I said, it went all the way over there. It was almost touching that other oak tree. So it was, and let me give you the reason that thing broke, because yeah, limbs die off. When a tree don't need a limb no more, it'll just cut off the nutrient to it and it'll dry up. And I'm not gonna kid you, you can see from down here that's let me get a little better view of that. You can see that's a beefy, that's a beefy limb. I mean, when you're holding it, it's and that thing didn't get no smaller. It stayed. That's why it also got too heavy. It stayed that girth all the way over. So I'm gonna tell you, it was an event. But like I said, everybody's safe from it. Nobody got hurt. Animals didn't get hurt. People didn't get hurt. Cleanup was cleanup, and damage was minimal. I lost my umbrella, which get another umbrella. Umbrella's an umbrella, and people sell them. People get them, put them outside, and then don't sit under them. Then they sell them cheap. They may buy them for 100, 120 bucks, but they'll realize they're not using it, or they don't like cleaning it, or whatever. I see them on Marketplace all the time. I'll get another one, and I mean, you can get them 20, 30 bucks. I'll pick one up, hopefully, or maybe even somebody will leave one at one of the rental places I have to clean up, but you can see where it goes. Went through that hole, and it goes through another hole further down, and then you can kind of see where the pole was. Actually, I do still have the pole. There it is. It didn't bend it, but I'll show you the bottom of it. So you can see where it snapped that metal right off. Look at that. Where it broke that metal off there. So yeah, that tree comes down, it don't play. It'll break that steel. Let me clue you, your head ain't made of steel. So the pigeon pen got a couple of more decorations in it. There's a piece of some kids climbing playground thing got left at one of the abandoned in the yard at one of the rentals I had to clean up. So I brought it here, put a tie on it, put it in there for the birds to sit on or climb on. Or birds are like these chickens and the pigeons, they're like kids. You put stuff in there, and that's another little piece of it right there. I propped up in there. You can see where I tied it to the roof. Pigeons are like kids. You put stuff around them, and you can see them right now. They will play. They will get on stuff. They will play. They're kids. That's what's so awesome about them. All right, I'll come on around here, because I'm going to try to hurry up and get this done. The other part of this video. Other sad event, I said bad and sad, was early on when I was showing you a lot of our farm animals. We had a big old man goose. We named him Blue Eyes. You've seen him through that gate over there. And he was old. He was old as the trees around here, I'm telling you. And you got used to him because he was the sweetest baby for a goose. Most geese get kind of ornery. He was the sweetest baby. You could walk in there, pet him. He'd come up and just kind of stand around you. He was just a buddy. And unfortunately, from old age, he passed away. Animals will do that. They get old, and he passed away, unfortunately. So. And that's his resting place underneath that little pan there. I got a brick. I'm gonna make him a little thing. So, but everybody else got a little upset over it. There's other little farm mates in there, but yeah. Anyway, a little sad thing, but there's plenty of babies that are still around that need love and care, and that's what we're here for. So, anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Let me go ahead and get this done. Y'all take care. And until next time, stay safe and hug somebody today. All right. Take care.